Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the TheCivShow podcast where we suck, including Sarge down the lower right. Sucks where you don't have to. I'm your host, Moisauce.
Raising Zozo.
And streaming from an empty apartment is the Stagmus.
And like I said, we do have 100 games, 100 days, or Sarge, as the community calls him. Welcome to the podcast, bud. Great to have you here.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, let's just go straight into things. Let's not waste anybody's time. You know what I mean? Let's just talk about Sunday, Sarge. Let's go right into that, right?
We don't normally waste people's time. Okay.
I mean, they do spend like over an hour here. I don't know. It's
our random mystery game.
Our actual mystery game, or actual all random mystery game. Yeah, so Sarge, you were playing France Eleanor, another Eleanor in another random game. Look at that. That's just like, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Van Bradley
immediately went to Van Bradley.
Van Bradley was he's so happy for you.
I like how they were both like the good Eleanor, like the French Eleanor, not like the English, like the useless, like whatever, you can do whatever the heck you want. You're still gonna you're the bad Eleanor. You're the French Eleanor. How do you feel that you are the most hated person? You're playing the most hated person in the game right now. Not even by Van Bradley's standards, by everybody's standards.
Right.
Well,
by everybody's
second
standards
only
now.
to Moisauce.
I'm not in the game. I wish I was. I'd be a great leader.
You're in the game, and you declared war on him.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna have to because of that debacle. You should have returned it to city-state status instead of taking it over.
I didn't know we were
Not
gonna
you.
go into a second week.
Okay. Oh yeah, I know that. Like that was part of the fun of it, is that you didn't know that we were gonna go into a second week.
That was awful.
Anyway.
But okay, so I was playing the Maori, and Nystagmus, you were playing the
Persians. He was playing the Persians.
You're completely away from me. I don't see you. Like I don't even know if I still know where you are. I just know of your civilization. And then Zoe, who were you playing?
Okay.
Japanese.
Japan.
How did Japan feel?
Gotta love that scouting that Moy does.
I know, right? I'm
Clutch,
always on the
clutch
ball.
scouting.
I want to know how Japan feels. How did Japan feel that game? Because we haven't seen them in a long
samurai
time.
suck. I hate samurais. Screw you and your samurais. I'm not even joking.
I think
samurai that has 5 kills on me right now.
I think that I wasn't aggressive enough with them. I built quite a couple wonders, quite a few wonders I got away with. So I kind of more did the city building side of the Japanese, but then when you and me went to war, I was like, I just gotten samurais, and then I just started pumping out samurai. And it's kind of the lame thing about the samurai. I don't know, because I think melee is arguably like the best. Like there's just so many. They have so many uses. They can hold their own against so many things, and they can siege, and they can do all these. And so to have this miscellaneous melee unit come up with a 49 strength pretty early in the game was a lot of fun, and I think they annoyed anyone who encountered them. I don't like, though, that when you upgrade them, they lose. I'm pretty sure they lose their superpower.
They do, yeah, because it's only applied to the samurais. You don't want to.
So it's like a 7 bonus. It's a 7 bonus that you move up, right? Like, is it worth it? Or should you just keep the samurai? But I felt pretty good. And then because of the Sarge totally used his brain ray France on us, and we ended up, being like, yes, let's do another week. Although I guess he could have won either way. We went to war, and then nothing came of it, because just as I'm like on your city, you offered, well, what if I declare war on Sarge? And I was like, okay, you successfully convinced me. You passed your persuade check. So they were a lot of fun, and now I got Nystagmus also on my butt, so now it'll be, let's see what happens.
Yeah, we have a world war going on right now, don't we?
We have a world war,
yeah.
and like technically me and France are still friends, Even though they just did their little city flip nonsense. I should have raised that city. I made a mistake. I don't know what I was thinking. Don't know what I was thinking. It flipped in 2 turns, taking that city state, and I was like, oh, this will be my little mini war. And then France got it right away. And unfortunately, France, like, that ability, it pretty much makes it that you have to die and all your cities have to be razed to the ground. And it's really unfortunate. It's like I got no choice. I have no. I can't. I could try to click keep city, and
you do have another choice. You can give
just
Peace
raise.
a chance.
Give Peace a chance.
Yeah,
So that 2 days. So that 2 turns later, it flips and is fully converted to him. No, thank you. I get it now. I get it. Van Bradley, I get it. I hear you.
I think I was the only one that had a golden age as well in that era, so that would have definitely helped me. Taking those cities. I wonder now if there's any pressure on any other cities now that I control that city state. I didn't really have a look.
You're not like making anything disloyal, if that is a word, but you're just holding your own kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
How does it feel? How did it feel to play online? Because I know you said you were struggling a lot with like just the what am I looking for? Like the time limit, not time limit, but being conscious of
there wasn't a
people's
time
times
limit
kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there was I guess just the occasion of it all playing online speed. I don't know if you guys have seen me stream, but I just I play every turn very slowly, methodically. I like to min-max it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to play it as if I was playing with a turn timer. So I was going fast. I found it really hard to kind of have a conversation with you guys while trying to concentrate on the game. I had a really brutal start. I was in Tundra. I had barbarians everywhere. I didn't deal with that as well as I should have. I should have built more units. And I also had no mountains. So I was like, where the hell am I going to put my campuses? Because I know I've seen people play online and they build their campuses really quickly. Just to make sure you're ahead of the game, because falling behind in a multiplayer game is bad news. You can be declared war on by somebody that has units from a different era ahead of you, and then you're pretty much screwed if they rush you early. So I wanted to make sure I got campuses early.
Which is very interesting, like you're slow, methodical, which if you guys check out our new series, which is Civ from different perspectives, you'll find out I do the exact opposite of that, which is just place stuff down and just basically bulldoze through the game as fast as you can.
We're not there yet.
That's pretty much what I was doing in this game.
Well, no, I'm trying to hype it up.
Yeah, what a great series that's gonna be. You should check it out on YouTube. No, it's not out yet, guys. Hold on. Wait till it's finished. Let's get the pilot ready, you know. We got to pitch it to NBC first, then we can bring it onto YouTube, you know. We got to get their permission. Damn NBC.
I love the concept, by the way. I can't wait to watch it. Yeah, it's awesome. And if it goes well, I'd love to be a part of it, perhaps, if you have guests involved.
I'm just waiting for everyone to comment about how I suck or something like that. Like that's what's gonna happen. Like the comments are just gonna be like, "What the heck is this guy doing?"
But
when we do we could do 100 games does a review of our comparison.
100 days.
And he can criticize it and rip it apart and be like, "What is he doing here?"
That's actually not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all.
Let's see how many. It'll be like a game of telephone in the end, and then we'll get Vector Cat to do a review of his review show.
Oh my gosh!
Very meta.
So much
very meta.
Super meta.
So we actually have a two-parter this week, last week, and next week. There's a continuation to this game, as we mentioned before. I believe it's the first one we've had in a while, right?
We don't do this. We don't do this, guys. We usually, if the game is close, what we usually do is we'll let the community vote and then ignore them completely and just do our own thing.
That's my job.
And no, this it's a rarity where the game seemed worthy of continuation. And I guess our guest host was pretty good.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's okay.
It's really hard to like somebody when they're playing Eleanor. I agree. And I only suffered a city-state loss. If that was a real city, oh man, I don't know.
So, let's
Yeah,
start
it's
this.
your fault for being a bully, man. You can't just bully city-states around like that.
I just wanted to be part of the war that wasn't attacking, either an ally or Moy.
Let's start this conversation. This is an open floor question. Are you comfortable with where you are currently to be where, like, okay, let me rephrase. Hold on, back up. Do you think you're going to win? Everybody, are you in a comfortable position where you think you're going to win?
Probably not. Like, I think we're all in a good position. I don't think I'm in, like, just from my own details I have. I know it's a pretty close score game, but yeah, well, smart money is me not winning, right? So I'm just gonna say no, because that's probably gonna happen more than.
Aren't
like
you
80%
leading
of
in
the time.
science, or is that 100 games? I think it's 100
No,
games.
I was leading in science, and then because of the war that forced my attention, I stopped building like things that were building up my science. I had to build units because I didn't have a huge army when I got declared war on. I had basically just spammed units at that point.
Okay.
So, no, my answer is no, because I don't win. I screwed up at the end somehow.
Sarge, how do you feel right now? What with your position?
I feel like I'll probably give away some secrets of the game, but I feel like maybe, like, I'm on the fence. Like, all three of you guys could gang up on me. Alliances aren't forever. As I'm fully aware, I go away, get myself a drink, and then Moy backstab. Okay.
We'll get into that a little later.
But I think I'm fairly close to a cultural victory.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I didn't want to reveal that, but now you guys can be on the defensive about that.
He was 12 turns away from a culture victory. So I guess it'll depend, Moy, on how well your attack goes. I'm guessing that if me and him right now were friends, if we were to go to war, I'm guessing you have some trade routes with me, so those would go away. That's gonna make things harder for you. And then tourism, I guess, if we're taking, like, this is a one thing I think you have for you, is when we take over one of your cities, it'll be like, oh man, he's got like 7 wonders in here, but we can't keep it. We have to raise it.
True.
We have no choice. We have,
yeah.
but then we're like, but what if we could keep, and that will buy you at least with me, and I'm not going to declare war on you, but if I did, I would probably give that city one chance. Right. One chance, and if it was an instant flip, then I'd have to raise it, and that would hurt. That would hurt me, like, because I would love to keep all your wonders.
But I don't think I have that many.
You have? I think you have a decent amount. Haven't you been building wonders? I haven't been building them.
You got Oracle. I can't remember who got Oracle.
Not me. I was building it and it got taken away from me. Bastard. I don't know who it was.
If you don't have lots of wonders, then you're playing the culture game really smart. So, because you're Void Singer too, right?
Oh yeah, he is. I did manage to take one of Sarge's cities, and I kept it successfully. The loyalty was fully mine. It was one of your, like, really south.
It was a dumb city.
Tundra. Yeah, it was a dumb city. It was Lion. Yeah.
The dumb city.
But I got it
far away.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's mine now. That's all that matters.
It's one of my cities, and it's not flipping back.
No, it's not. That's the important part. It's permanently not yours, and it makes me so happy.
It does. I got a chip on my shoulder about that.
And you two are engaged in the war. I'm an ally, and I can't declare war on you. And I have Stagmus is breathing down my throat right now. Mm-hmm. He has the advantage right now that I don't have a lot of forces in my northern region. However, I'm the Japanese.
And you had possibly one of the worst, like, dust storms I've ever seen. It killed like 3 of his units. It was
so devastating, that dust storm that just came
and because of simultaneous turns, when I saw it, I just waited for it to hurt the units, and then I shot at them.
Oh no!
So I waited with my crossbowman, and the dust storm, like, killed 90% of his samurais, like, light, and then I just shot it with a crossbowman and killed it.
And there was like 1 square of desert there that freaking dust storm came from. Oh, it wasn't a hurricane. If it was a hurricane, I would have been immune, and you would have gotten
Yeah.
punished. I got punished instead. So like,
I'm still wondering why the dust storm didn't kill my units, because my units didn't really get hurt. They're right beside your units. I don't know why they didn't.
Well, obviously because of cheating, game cheating, probably.
It thought you were nystagmus though, and just was like, oh, he's over here.
Yeah, and like
You were collateral damage for the game trying to take me on again.
the only thing I've got up there is I have good defenses. So like, but you have me. Like, the city's not at risk right now of falling immediately, but my reinforcements are several turns away.
I have a bunch of units running around just like pillaging all your stuff right now.
Yeah, you're gonna have some time to weaken it up. Yeah, that was a devastating turn of events. Why did I agree to continue another week? I don't remember. I do remember the feeling though of what happened to my units.
So is it safe to say, Zoe, you don't feel confident that you're going to win? I think because from that statement.
Okay, so we're about to because we're starting a new session, like we'll have 4 hours, full hours.
Yeah.
The cool thing about the Japanese, they're not a one-trick pony. Their abilities are useful throughout the game. They just happen to have a specific part of the game, early medieval times, where they have a very, very powerful unit that they can go and secure an empire. That said, my next wave will kick in, right? I think it's the tech plant or whatever. That's my factory, I think.
Electronics, yeah.
I think
electronics factory.
Yeah.
I think that's it's factory though. Like, so I think that's an industrial era.
Yep.
So that's my second wind, with an already pretty steady civilization. So I have to fight off nystagmus, which I'm confident I can do. The real thing will be what I decide to do, and this is why this is a very interesting game, and I think Sarge hit it on the head when he said how much diplomacy ends up being involved when things are so even, is that I have to make that decision of what do I, am I going to attack one or the other, and then nystagmus isn't just going to sit there. So I don't know. Sarge might actually be in a very good position if he can hold us off, especially if you can keep your trade routes up with me. And I'm guessing you have good trade routes with nystagmus, so your culture is definitely risking I think overtaking us two. And then I don't know what your situation with Moy is. You're probably very close to him too, right? Because you had good trade
right
going
next
with him
with me. No, but I'm at war with him.
Yeah. You're at war with him, but like that doesn't go away right away, right?
I feel like I'm becoming kind of the king. I'm the kingmaker, basically.
I don't know. Like I could, me and Zoe could be like, hey Zoe, let's do 1-2 right now. One of us is gonna win. I don't care who it is, just one of us, and we just team up and be like, okay, let's go.
That is such a Moy.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that's what's going on anyway.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a foregone conclusion.
I thought it was going to be a 2v2 in the end, kind of thing.
Build a reputation. Come to the TheCivShow. We'll tag team you.
You know what? Everyone in chat, everyone who's going to come in, guys, tell your friends to check out the next game, because we're continuing, there's a good chance that we may develop nukes, for and not like the whole, please guys, let's just let the game run for a little bit longer.
I was going to say, or we'll wait.
It might be like just yeah. No. It might actually be organic now. Like it might actually be part of the game.
I hope so. Oh,
that's the only time it's worthy, I think.
Really? You have no experience with nukes? How many games have you played?
Heaps, but I maybe did it one. Yeah, like I've played around with it once many years ago, but I know you need uranium.
A lot of like a lot of the players who play single player on standard and stuff like that, a lot of them are beating the game prior to like them even being like a realistic like option or use. True, except for Bose. Bose has like a whole like nuke the lake thing, but
yeah, that's his whole brand. Yeah.
Nuke the lake. Nuke the whales. Gotta nuke something.
I don't think I'm gonna win. I went into the game knowing I would be like an enemy kind of thing. So when I had the Maori, it was against what I wanted to do, and so I wanted to play this enemy, this evil like character.
So you went into the game wanting to be clipped that you were gonna like betray somebody.
That was on a whim.
Knowing that was gonna happen.
That was on a whim. And,
do we have that clip? Can we roll that?
I'm sure.
Steve,
Groovy
can we roll that clip?
Steve, what the hell, Steve? Come on, figure it out.
Boy, you're forgetting the classic move. What you gotta do is deny that you said it, and then gaslight everyone who says that you said it.
Not on the
Yeah,
podcast. No, the podcast is where you get the real me. Okay, TheCivShow is where you get like the enemy.
Now, I don't
me.
I don't know if you guys encountered this. It's the one thing that was really keeping me back is Japan. Was I had a niter shortage, and I think the map in general did not have a lot of niter.
Oh,
I have
I
two
randomize
sources.
strategic resources, by the way, so we might be on rare.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
I
like
have two, so like I could spread it.
I have some niter, but like it's taking me time to save up the niter.
So
I think
this is another reason
I think
why
I'm
we should be
helping.
the team. Me and you.
That's why I think I'm helping Sarge quite a bit because I just
Yeah.
keep giving him my niter.
I've only got one source and it
1,000
kept getting
gold.
flooded in a river.
For like 10
I keep
niter.
forgetting about it.
I actually have two sources right now. I just haven't started mining the second one yet.
Yeah,
I'm
I
about
haven't
to
started
though.
either. Yeah, I think I'm thinking
yeah.
about to as well, and then I'm gonna
It's
maybe team up with Zoe because we need to do something about these two guys.
well, yeah, I do agree that like the turn victory, 12 turn victory, obviously requires a brutal response.
Yeah,
I don't think it's
We're
accurate.
friends, so I don't know if like we're still friends. When the game when we wrapped up, I'm pretty sure we were still friends. So it's not an option
Yeah.
for me
You
to
got like 3
declare
turns
war.
left or something.
yeah. There's not a
Yeah,
lot of time left.
So there's nothing I can do there, and it is interesting though when you are in a world war, how much you notice like your niter shortage, like how,
Yeah.
especially when you're exiting the medieval, going into Renaissance and beyond, how important that niter suddenly becomes.
So
Bad
That's
time
what
to
happens
be a
in like a multiplayer game where that happens. Strategic resources become super important because
Yeah.
you need to keep on producing units to keep up, right? Like,
Yep.
that's what ground my science game to a halt because like I didn't even declare war on anybody. It was just because I was on a defensive pact with Sarge, right? So he like gave me a military alliance, and then suddenly, like the very next turn, he declared war on him, and then I was just at war with both of you. I'm at war with Moy and with
Yeah, we went to
so-
war, but I didn't go to war with him. So it's like I didn't declare war on you. Moy declared.
I declared war on Sarge. To be clear,
Did
went
I
a
declare
defensive
war on you?
Moy?
I declared war on Sarge.
How could I though? We're friends. There's no way I could declare
So
war.
I declared war
No,
on Sarge.
I think
so
there was
then
like,
I
I
declared
think it's
war
like
on
a World War
Astagus
One
in
thing
turn.
where
That's what happened.
yeah. So no, but why did I end up at war with Zoe?
Because Zoe was.
How did we? Yeah, how did we
Zoe,
end up
you're,
at war?
are you an ally with me, Zoe? I think you
Did
were.
I declare war on?
No, so you were in a defensive pact with Moy probably.
Yeah, I think so.
So that when I went
Maybe.
to war with Moy, I was automatically at war with
Yeah,
you.
I think
This
that's
is like
what
a World War
happened.
One thing,
Yeah.
right? It's an alliance.
Maybe we had a military alliance.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
maybe
think
we had
that's
a
what it
military
is.
alliance. Okay.
I'm like 90%
Like that makes
sure.
a difference though, because if we have a military
So
alliance,
Zoe, how do you feel that? How do you feel that Moy dragged you into a war?
it seemed like a good idea at the time.
I asked you. Don't give. Wow, you're gaslighting me.
It, like no. Hey, I didn't. I said it seemed like a good idea at the time. I didn't realize though that that it wouldn't end mine and France's friendship. I think maybe we were going into it like a joint war and assuming that it would trigger, and it didn't. All it did was declare war on Nystagmus. So
Right, that's what happened. Yes, that's correct.
yeah. So I do agree though. Unfortunately, France, when it says 12 turns to victory, yeah, we have no choice. We don't just bend over, and that would be anybody. You have to do your best, right? So I don't know. We'll see. Like I didn't see his military. I don't see any of the rest of the world. I just see my little cluster. So I don't know how strong. I know his science is great. So I'd imagine he's pumping out tanks or something.
Yeah, I'm worried about that. As soon as he pumps up the first tank, I'm so worried. Let's take a small break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about you, Sarge. We're going to be going into who you are and what your community is. So don't go anywhere, because we will be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Civ Show podcast, where we suck so you, in fact, don't have to suck. You're welcome. Sarge or 100 games, 100 days. Let's get into you as a person, as a streamer, as a content creator. On Sunday, you mentioned that you basically started streaming when the COVID quarantine happened. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, I did start earlier. My first stream was like mid 2018, but I started doing this more seriously when COVID happened.
So I guess just tell me about like the whole journey. Like, are you enjoying it? How frustrating or exciting is streaming? Just kind of take me through the whole thing, the whole experience that you've since your inception.
Yeah, so I did mention it on when we were playing the game, but so basically I can't remember how I discovered Twitch, but it was around 2012, and I was like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to play some games and just chill out on stream and chat to people, things like that. But I couldn't stream. I attempted to stream, but it was on really low quality. I played like Final Fantasy VIII and some other games. But I ended up creating this YouTube account called 100 Games 100 Days. I still have the channel. I still have, like, it's the name I use everywhere still. But I couldn't stream. So I did the whole 100 games in 100 days thing. People think that I finished 100 games in 100 days, but all I did was just play 1 hour of 100 games in my backlog once a day, and I just uploaded it to YouTube. Like, it was just to experiment with YouTube, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, then fast forward to 2018, then when MBM became available, I was able to actually stream. We had good internet here in Australia. So that's when I started streaming Fortnite. So I started streaming Fortnite to start with.
Nice.
That was pretty fun. That was just a game that me and my friends were playing. We're not usually big on playing shooters like that, but it was, I don't know, a very accessible game. It was fun. But my mates and I kind of stopped playing it within 3 months or so, and I didn't really get much enjoyment out of it as much anymore. So I started doing this thing where I would kill myself at the start of the game. And then back in the day in Fortnite, you would spectate somebody, so some random person on the map. And then I would commentate that person going around the map and rooting for them, basically, to win the game. And if they won the game, they became the golden goose, as I called it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would go into like a Hall of Fame on my channel. So I had like 5 of them. Like, I did it a lot. And I kind of made like you could gamble your channel points that you redeemed on chat. Not the channel points that we have today, but like something, I think, through Stream Elements or Streamlabs or something. You could accumulate points, and people would gamble on where they thought this person would finish up, and I'd pay out points based on that. And yeah, that was something cool that I used to do for a little while. A few big Fortnite streamers actually saw it and came in and commentated on it. It's funny, like this guy called Ryan Rex. He was a big Fortnite streamer a while ago. He stopped playing it now, but I think he's still in the esports scene. He came in and he actually witnessed the first golden goose that I ever had. It was really cool for him to be there. But yeah, anyway, that was the Fortnite thing. I kind of stopped playing that after like 5 months. I only streamed on the weekend because I was working full time then. And then Twitch Sings was announced, and like, this is the game for me. I love karaoke.
Yeah, I want to get into that. Like, how it's going away in the new year. And I know you're super into that game, right?
Yeah. So Twitch Sings was just something fun I did on the weekends. I wasn't really caring about my stream so much, but I love karaoke. So it was just a thing. I'd have a few drinks and I'd just carry on. Had some close friends that would watch it, or some people that I've met online through Twitch that would watch it. So I just used to hang out with them and just sing and just do their requests and stuff. But that's where the outfit all comes from.
Yeah.
I just had some wigs and stuff hanging around from mostly through work. And it just kind of evolved from there. So Twitch Things was something I do like maybe once every 2 weeks sort of thing.
I'm sorry. Wait, you got your costumes from work? Can you go into detail about that?
Oh,
what do you do?
Okay. I work in travel.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm stood down at the moment, so I'm not sure what's happening with that. But they like to do dress up parties a lot. So I've got a lot of costumes built up over the years from work events. And the wig, there's a AFL footballer by the name of Warwick Kappa. He was an ambassador for one of the brands that I worked with. And he had long blonde hair when he was playing football. So that's where the mullet comes from.
It's a legendary, dude. I love that. It's an iconic look in your channel. Obviously, because
Yeah.
you have some emotes that, like based around it as well, right?
Yeah, and I had a friend that I actually met through someone else's community online. Um, his mate was an artist, and he just got him to do them. And like they're amazing artwork, and he paid for it for me. And I was like, wow, I just like these are awesome. So yeah, I just decided then and there that's going to be kind of my channel art for at least now anyway. Not sure what's going to happen after Twitch Sings goes, if I'll change my look at all, like the brand and stuff like
Yeah,
that. But yeah, when COVID hit, I just came up with this idea to do this wheel thing where people could spend channel points, spin the wheel, and then I'll just wear whatever comes up. Because of all the costumes and stuff I've got, I can rotate through
Mm-hmm.
a lot of my outfits every month. So yeah, that's where that comes from.
Speaking of costumes, I hear there's a specific costume that you will do if you reach a certain amount of followers, I think.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
If I reach 1,000 followers, and we're sitting at about 980 at the moment, I'm going to do a Freddie Mercury's Twitch Sings like concert cosplay thing.
If you're listening to
Probably.
this podcast right now, you better go follow 100 Games 100 Days because you want to see this dude cosplay as Freddie Mercury. He's already got the mustache for it. Come on.
If you cosplay as Freddie Mercury, I would volunteer the Civ Show to back you up as Queen, and we will sing Bohemian Rhapsody, okay? And
be
we'll try to
amazing.
get the parts down and
Oh,
everything.
man.
You be doing
Heck
most of the
yes.
singing. We would be your choir, basically. Okay.
I love it.
So that's I commit the rest of the team to that. At least me.
All right,
We
I'm
would
down for
totally
it, man.
we'd be your backup singers, and we can't pull off the look of Freddie Mercury, but I don't know, we might be able to come close to the rest of the team. Maybe. But I guess Boy could have pulled off Freddie Mercury. I guess we could all just do Freddie Mercury.
I mean, it is
And-
November, gentlemen, and the mo must come out
True.
now, right? The mo's gotta
That's
you gotta
true.
grow out the big
November.
old mustache for November, you know. We already got it going. Oh yeah.
So there you go. I throw that offer at you if
That
you
sounds
do it.
amazing.
Yeah, we'll make a thing out of it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that sounds awesome.
back to you as a content creator. Back to that. Where do you see yourself as an end goal for being a content creator?
See, that's something I haven't totally figured out. Like at the moment, I feel like I'm just experimenting. Like I'd like to get into YouTube. It's been, I think, because I've already got the YouTube channel and I have a fair bit of content on there. But it's not Civ related. There's like one Let's Play up there, and I do definitely want to get into YouTube. I think I was thinking about this before. I think I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself now that I'm involved in lots of other content creators, communities and whatnot. I feel like I don't know, like this responsibility to create really good content that you guys will respect.
Oh,
But,
okay. I understand.
sort of thing,
I understand.
That's
I
like, so I'm
100%
putting
understand.
all this undue pressure on myself to start doing content. I've been thinking about it for like 4 months and I just haven't pulled the trigger. I've got tons of ideas. I've got like scripts for some stuff. I've even started recording some videos, but I just haven't pulled the trigger and released anything.
Is
I
it
think
the
I just need to
video
bite the bullet
editing
and
that's
start
holding
doing it.
you back, or like the time?
No, not video
or,
editing.
like-
It's just I've got a lot of pieces scattered everywhere. I just need to put it together and start.
Sometimes
Uploading.
all you need is a good group of friends from the Civ Show to poke and prod you, sing off key,
Yes.
mimi momo, mumu mame, and get you where you need to be. So I think we'd love to hear some of those ideas later. Who knows? Maybe there's something we can collaborate on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm finding increasingly as I guess a content creator.
Yes. So you're a
You just
content
go
creator.
out and make
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. I think
Am
that's
I a
it.
content
Just
creator?
make
I
stuff.
thought I was too old.
Doesn't
considered
matter. There's like an
I
80-year-old
thought
streamer that plays
I thought I was
RuneScape
part
every
of your
day.
content.
Like, what my content? It's not my content. Excuse me. Our content,
I-
though. Come on.
I find I'm a content creator. Yeah, but I just find just go out, do stuff.
Yeah.
It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall. Something to stick eventually.
Yeah. That's it. And I still think I'm in experimentation phase with everything. Like calling myself a content creator doesn't sit comfortably with me. I just feel like I'm streaming a game that I played for like over 2,000 hours now, and just trying to educate people along the way, but also it's just a game I enjoy. Like it's a game I'll probably be playing forever, like the Civ series in general. So it's just very easy for me to get up in the morning and stream that.
But you've been a part of the Civ Fanatics community for a very, very long time. And you know,
Yeah, 2003.
right. And you know this game and this series probably better than 99.9% of the population that plays the game. So, as somebody who is, I wouldn't say newly into Civ, but like I've liked Civ, but is newly very into Civ. You know what I mean? Like now I'm really into it. I look at people who know the game and know the content, know the series, and I look for that kind of content, right? So you would be just the person I would be looking for in content, which is why you should be, dude, create your YouTube videos. Like give us an example of the one you're working on right now, like, if you want to reveal it.
All right, so I actually started learning Python earlier this week.
Heck yeah.
Because I've discovered the log files in Civ, and I want to like a lot of my enjoyment at the moment is just trying to understand how the AI work, because I play single player all the time.
Yeah.
And because of the constant changes that keep happening, like the Oracle and the pyramids now getting taken at like turn 40, 50 or whatever, even I heard someone say like turn 29 or something. So I've worked out how to get the AI to just play by themselves.
Okay.
I can grab the log files. In Python, I can run a script to get the turn time of all the wonders that are built. So that's maybe my first video. I'm going to do like maybe 10, 20 log files worth of data, and then let people know what turn time on average wonders get built in the game. And obviously that can change with new patches and stuff like that.
So you would just have the computers play each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can. There's a mod for that, even just like a spectator mod, and like this is over the subreddit too. On the Civ subreddit, they have like an annual, like all the computers. They place every single Civ on the map in the true start location, and they just like let it play out by the AI, and then they see who the strongest civilization is. Usually Canada wins. I think because no one declares war on Canada, because the AI doesn't know how to declare war on Canada. But
yeah, I've seen some YouTube channels do the whole AI thing, like they spectate it and commentate, and that's pretty cool. But I've seen some really good YouTubers that get a lot of views do that sort of thing already.
I can't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. It's like
Drew
blonde hair guy. Yeah. Drew Dunmill. Yeah. That's the guy. Yeah. He has all this content of just like AI stuff. Aside, talk to me later about this Python thing, because I can help you in that, because I work with Python every day. So
awesome.
Talk to me about that.
Yeah. Cool.
Where is it going with this? I don't remember. This is, where do you see yourself as a content creator? I don't know. You guys have any questions for? Oh, I'm gonna open the floor here.
Just a comment. I just what you did with your golden goose thing, I think was awesome. That's like just you stumbled across like just a really engaging way to celebrate. And I think like this, when I think of golden goose, I'm like, I think you're celebrating mediocrity, but that's funny because maybe sometimes these people just fluke win, right?
Yeah. Especially back then in season 2.
Yeah, like it was like not necessarily the best player won, but you know. I think that's really engaging and funny, and I remember thinking that too when you mentioned Golden Goose. It's like, that's just, what a great name! You win the Golden Goose. Wait,
I don't know why.
Do I want to be a Golden Goose? I don't know. So that's and I think as content creators, anything that we can do where we like really engage and we make the community like part of the art, I think is awesome. So I think you just take ideas like that and run with it, and you'll be golden. You'll be a golden goose.
Yeah. Why you mentioned that, I actually I wouldn't mind doing commentating with multiplayer. Like I just want to, but I want to commentate like just the lobby games. I don't want to commentate the Civ World Cup. I just want to commentate random multiplayer games. I would love to do that.
So we could do a Civ. We could do a Civ show where we're not talking, and you're just commenting, and like maybe we're talking to each other and you can hear it, but you're the main feed that everyone else hears, and you could set it up almost like David Edinburgh would, like, set up how the lion jumps the gazelle. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Here you see the Moy being yet again treacherous. Will they fall for it?
And then it cuts to my screen. It's just me like giving you a moism. Like, Zoe, you are the worst person.
A clear sign that the Moy is about to betray is the long rant. Let's listen.
Speaking of which,
I
you
just
were a
felt
victim of that.
Zoe talking about a long rant.
That's funny.
What are you talking about?
Ironic,
Rant.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were the most recent victim to the Moyism, as Zoe likes to call it, Sarge.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel in that scenario? Were you just annoyed, or were you listening to every breath?
Were you a Moy?
No. Annoyed. No, I wasn't annoyed at all. I got moyed on.
He moyed all over
Well,
you.
Groovy kind of gave it away that the backstab was happening because he clipped it and then put it in the chat when I came back. So I knew it was coming. So I guess I got a bit of a warning. Would have been interesting if you just did it out of nowhere.
It wouldn't have been fun.
Yeah.
Well,
It's like,
well
the
part of the
anticipation is
backstabbing was that Moy was trying to get all of us to kill you.
Yeah, well,
Right? Yeah. That was he can't just do it all by himself. He needs us to agree.
Gonna do it, Nystagmus. Your heart is too good. It's too far to the what is it?
I gotta tell you, Sarge,
Lawful
you reacted way better to the Moyism than I did, because I vividly remember a game where Moy went on this whole rant and it didn't go anywhere, and I just declared war on him.
Oh my god! Let's not do this again. Okay, this was before we knew the mechanics of culture bombs, and I only knew it as it takes tiles.
The whole time he was like, "Look at this tile. Do you like that tile? You look at the tile. What's going on with the tile?" And it was like, Moy, make your point. I'm getting tired of this conversation.
Here's the full backstory. Okay, before they got rid of Holy Sites' culture bombs, before they got rid of that, I took it as a meme. I'm like, you know what? Nobody takes this. I'm gonna take it, and I built a Holy Site directly next to Nystagmus' campus. And I'm like, oh, it's gonna culture bomb his campus, and in my head, I'm like, oh, he's gonna lose his campus, and it's gonna be so bad, and he's gonna be so mad, and I'm gonna be so
two campuses in one
excited.
city.
Well, I wasn't thinking that. I just thought it would just be dead, right? And so I'm like, yeah, this is a great idea. And so I build it and I hype it up. I'm like, hey, Nystagmus, do you like this tile? Do you just keep an eye on this? Keep an eye on your campus. Like, just look at it. Just look at it. And the next turn comes in, and we're looking at it, and then it culture bombs, but nothing happens. And I'm like, oh. And then Nystagmus was like, that's it, nothing happened. I'm declaring.
So you succeeded for the wrong reason, right? Like, you may be mad, right? But
So
I also felt that I was trying to teach you the mechanics of the game, that you can't just like culture bomb a district out of the city, right? Like, you needed to learn that lesson.
I figured you were going to declare war. I just wanted to have fun before that happened.
Because it has to be in the third ring, and you can't take districts.
You can't take
right?
districts. It was within the third ring. You can't take districts.
Yeah.
I did. I'm so like, I wish just like there was no limits on this culture bomb. Like, I understand now that there's more culture bombs, why there's limits, because it'd be really broken. But like for Australia, you can just kind of keep.
So are you
extending
asking the
borders.
developers to break the game?
I'm asking
so that
for
you
it to
can do
maybe
it?
put in a game mode where there's no limits. Like just like you know what I mean? Just like
No
make
rules.
everything one turn. All the production's one turn, no matter what. Make your settlers not lose the population, because why not? Let's just unlock all of the policy cards too, because like there's no reason to put restrictions on those, is there? Call it the unrestricted mode, and it's just, hey, how about this? Yes, this unrestricted mode. When you start off in the beginning of the game, everybody has 5 nukes. You have everything unlocked. You start with 5 settlers. Go. Everything costs 1 turn. Come on. No? Silence from the crowd? Are you kidding me? You don't think that's whatever, guys?
No, people would literally like nuke, and then the world would end. Basically,
it's a game mode.
Basically,
It
what would
doesn't
happen.
matter. Just like have fun with it. All right.
Sounds chaotic.
Okay. Take away the nukes.
Absolutely.
Take away the nukes. Okay. 1 nuke each. 1. Just so that if you start with 5 settlers, come on, it's not that bad. Anyway,
Now we're starting to have rules.
whatever.
No, But I wonder if someone clipped that conversation, because like you were like taking forever to lead into like what was going on. You're just like, hey, like, yeah, I'm like, hey, yeah, hey, like, okay, no, I get to your point. What you're talking about. Do you like that tile over there? Do you like it? Do you like it? Do you like it a lot? I'm like, how much do you like it? I'm like,
let's
pretty bad.
let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about the title of the podcast. We're going to be talking about the leaks that were accidentally revealed on the Nintendo Switch store. Yikers! We'll be right back. Welcome back to the TheCivShow podcast, where we find the information so you don't have to. Oh, is yeah. Let's talk about these leaks that have been all over Reddit. Nintendo Switch, if you're not informed, Nintendo Switch eStore revealed who the November leader is going to be, and somebody is either one going to get fired or two going to get a booting, and we're not going to be sure who that's going to be. But
we've narrowed it down to a booting through the gate with a regular shoe.
So if you haven't heard the new, this is spoilers, by the way, so if you don't want to know, then like skip ahead or just listen to a different podcast. If you don't, I can't believe I said that.
Do not listen to another podcast.
There's other podcasts.
With that, I'm being told to not
cut off his microphone. Cut off his microphone.
Another podcast.
If you haven't
Tune in
heard...
tomorrow for that story, or watch another channel. Wait, don't watch another channel.
If you haven't heard, though, yes.
What haven't we heard, Moy?
The Nintendo Switch eStore released, and it is going to be Babylon, the long-awaited and now very hyped Babylon is going to be the new civilization in November, and the leader is going to be a man. I'm not familiar with this person. Maybe the Samus, you are, being the history buff.
Hammurabi?
Hammurabi.
You don't know who
You're-
that is?
I
Is
don't
that a
know.
You're
joke?
not
I don't
familiar
know
with
anybody.
Hammurabi?
I don't know
The
anybody.
guy that founded the Code of Laws?
Think about it this way.
Yeah,
Oh my
I didn't know
eye
who.
for an eye.
No.
I didn't know who
Turn off the
Ramses was.
camera,
Remember
Moy.
that? You remember that? I voted King Tut for the new
That's-
leader as
you
Egypt.
know, Ramses is okay. Hammurabi though, like if you know Babylon as a civilization
And I don't.
name that they even existed outside of Civ the game, you know Hammurabi.
Do I?
Wow, Moy. No, you don't. You don't, Moy. That's because we just talked about being authentic, Moy. You are not the real. I'm sorry, Moy.
If I was the fake real, then
you're the
I would
fake real.
pretend I knew
You're the
this
fake
guy.
real.
I would be like, yeah, it's the hyped Hammurabi. Wow, amazing.
Well, then
But
you'd
you'd
be a
be
real
like,
fake.
yeah,
You'd be
it's
a real
Hammurabi, but I'm not gonna spoil it. Mr. Agnes, will you let us know who this is?
All right, I'm just gonna call somebody out here. Sarge, do you know who Hammurabi is?
I've heard the name.
You're lying. You're
places,
so
sure.
lying. You have no idea. Thank you. I'm backed up.
No.
He's
No.
heard of Hammurabi. He's played Civ since Civ 1.
Yeah.
All right,
I definitely-
Hammurabi was in Civ
Civ
1.
for
Hammurabi.
sure. I don't know much about Civ 1.
I thought you mentioned that you
I
played. Civ 1.
played it when I was a
Like 4
Wee
years old or
lad.
something.
Yeah, way young.
So, Hammurabi was a king
yeah
of
Civ 4.
Babylon.
I thought it was Civ 4.
The king of
And he
Babylon.
he's most famous for what's called Hammurabi's Code. So
Okay.
he's one of the first rulers, or I think the first one, to codify law.
Codified law.
I don't know
And
what that
so,
means.
Written in stone. That's where
so
that term
it's
comes from.
basically codified law means it's written down and everyone has to abide by the letter of the law,
Mm,
right?
okay.
Instead of like different practices all over the place in the empires, one set of rules for everybody. Now that's in theory. In practice, yeah, we all know we still don't have people all following the same rules in practice, but in theory, everyone is following the same rules. And he came up with punishments
Okay.
and for each of the different rules. So that's where the eye for the eye
Eye
came
for an
from.
eye, tooth
Right.
for a tooth. But the original context was more that a punishment should equal the crime. I believe,
Yeah.
right? An
Mhm.
eye for an eye, or a tooth for a tooth.
Yeah.
And then also, yeah, that you don't want to take.
Now,
Can't take two eyes, right?
the other thing he did was that he made these rules publicly available, and the way he did it was he built these pillars all over the empire, and it was written down in stone on these pillars, and that's how we discovered them.
Okay.
And so, it's pretty. That's how like he's most known for. Now in the game, it looks like they're going to make him science focused.
Yeah,
which is kind of
science and
interesting as
government
well.
and infrastructure. They say
Yeah.
yes.
So
But
the government
government there,
infrastructure is
right?
like right up his alley, right?
Yeah.
Which is
That's what it
exactly
sounds
what
like.
Babylon was known for.
Yeah.
The science, I think it's just to kind of give another science civ, and there's no other reason why not, because Babylon was highly advanced for its time,
Right. Yes.
right?
I'm familiar with that.
For architecture, right? Like the tower or the garden of Babylon is what am I thinking of? The
Hanging Garden.
the hanging gardens, the hanging garden, the Tower of Babylon. I'm thinking of the Tower of Babel.
Yeah.
The hanging garden. What an amazing feat of engineering.
Their
right?
main engineering was mainly around irrigation.
irrigation.
Because
Yeah.
they were near like the Tigris rivers and stuff like that in the Middle East, and so
And-
or modern day Iraq, basically.
And I certainly, I kind of understand why Civ waited so long. I guess, the Mesopotamian area is like, I guess, well represented with Persia and Greece, but like there's no Assyria, there's no. So I think it's just a matter of time.
Mesopotamia geographic location is well represented, but Mesopotamian empires are not.
Right,
Um,
because Persia too was a contemporary, right, of the Babylon Empire. Although the Persians, I believe, took out the Babylons.
No, they were far
Babylonians.
ahead. That was like long
Different
after the
times.
Babylon.
I remember bits and pieces of that period of history. Israel was involved in a lot of it.
Yeah, you're talking like there's different iterations of the Persian Empire. That's what gets really confusing too. So there's the Cyanide.
Assyrian, right.
I can't remember the
Hittites.
dynasty's name, but Persia existed during the Roman time too. So after Alexander conquered the Persian Empire, it was reborn under a different dynasty, and so Emperor Julian in 362, I think, invaded the Persian Empire again that came up. So there were different iterations of the Persian Empire.
And well, this
Um,
is big chunk of history too. We're talking, right? Like several thousands of years.
Yeah, we're talking about thousands of
Right.
years. Yeah, like people
Okay,
forget like how long
let-
Egypt lasted for. Like when Ramses would like carve on a pyramid in near Cairo, that was already like 2,000 years old, right? Like the pyramids were ancient even for contemporary Egyptian pharaohs.
right.
So we're talking about like long swaths of time.
So let's, other than asking Carl what the hell happened here, maybe it was part of a marketing stunt. I don't know. Let's speculate. I'm just gonna open. I think we're going to see a well done vertical civ. I think we're going to see
Like
a
a
well
tall
done
civ, you mean?
a city building, but a vertical city building, where they actually are able to build like really big cities. I'm not, it's not gonna. I don't. It won't be something like the Germans where they get the extra district, but I'm guessing there's going to be some bonus that's not just production towards district, something towards district, maybe even like even better than the Germans where it scales. Maybe they get them after a certain point. Maybe they get districts sooner. So I think there'll be a vertical. That's my guess. A vertical build up. Don't need a lot of cities. Can get tons done with a few cities. That's going to be my guess for overall structure of them.
I'm kind of leaning to. I don't think they're going to get a unique district. Like I don't think they're going to get a unique science district. I think they're going to get a unique building, or a unique improvement. And I'm leaning towards maybe even both of those, because what other thing can you say that if you're unique in government, what can you give them other than a unique government building like France has with the you know what I'm talking about, the unique government France building that gives you 4 great artworks,
Right.
I
Right.
want to say it's a bibliothèque, but I know it's not, right? Like anyway, so I'm thinking there's going to be a unique building in there, right? Whether it's going to, and I think it's going to replace something in the first government, so like the audience chamber, the warlord's throne, something in there. It's going to replace, or maybe it's just as simple as they get an extra military policy card, or they get an extra wild card policy. Like it could be just that simple.
I'd see it as economic,
Sure.
maybe an extra economic one.
Yep. And then in terms of science, I don't know if it's not going to be a unique district. I'm guessing that I'm just going to go on a whim here and say like they're going to get a unique warrior or a unique spearman or a unique someone early, and it's going to be whenever they get kills, whenever this whole empire gets kills, it'll take the difference in combat strength and add that to science. That's my best guess, because that's not been done before, but it's been done with other things like Mali and the Gold with their unique cavalry. And then the infrastructure,
I
I
think
think
with one of their units.
Sorry?
I think with Gorgo, one of their unique units gets you culture.
Anytime
Yeah,
you kill anybody, I think. You
Yeah,
get culture.
50% of its combat strength. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be something like that, where it's like it's gonna be science instead, because they even did that with the Gaul, where they copied Alexander's thing, but they did it with culture. So I imagine they're gonna do that here with Babylon. And then with the infrastructure, I think it's gonna be related to the step well, where it's gonna be like +1 housing +4 food. That's it. I'm done. Go.
I think that if they're going to do something for the Babylonians, it'd be something to do with irrigation for sure. So like food growth. That's what they're mainly known for. Like the city of Babylon itself was on the Euphrates River, and then they're going to have something trade focused, almost certainly. So something to do with their roads or extra trade routes, or they get something extra from their trade routes. Like maybe their trade routes give extra food or extra something.
So what if the government building is like +1 trade route? That
maybe, yeah, something like that. Yeah. I think their special district is going to be a unique government building for sure.
Oh, like entire
100%. That's what.
Oh no! Sorry, I'm thinking district.
Instead of the government.
Yeah, my bad.
Their unique district, I think, is going to be a unique government plaza.
Okay.
And they're going to get it earlier than other people can.
Okay.
I think that because again, first empire to have a code of laws that applied to everybody. And so I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to have a unique government plaza. They're going to get it earlier, and then their other special ability is probably going to be something to do with trade. I don't know what the leader ability would probably be. It'd probably be something to do with loyalty, because the Babylonians were able to keep the cities under their control, very tightly knit. And so I think maybe that he'll have something like a loyalty boost or something like that, where he may not have as much loyalty pressure from outside.
It could be like Dido, where it's like you can't loyalty flip if they're on the same continent. Just that simple.
Possibly, yeah, something like that, yeah.
Maybe within like 6 tiles of their capital, can't loyalty flip. That'd be a good one, because that would also support your theory of building tall. So
I can now, like you mentioned, maybe that they wouldn't have a special military unit. Wouldn't it be interesting if they gave them a special builder, a special worker unit?
that would be really interesting, but I don't think they would ever opt out of a unique military unit, because everybody has one.
True.
I don't see it happening. I think they might get a unique slinger. That'd be cool.
It's gonna be, if it's a unique military unit, it's gonna be an ancient era.
Yeah, for sure.
Almost certainly.
Sarge, why don't
Go ahead, Sarge.
why don't we?
So based off the Nystagmus's historic knowledge, maybe they'll have, and trade routes, maybe they'll get some sort of science bonus based on the number of farms that you have in the city or the destination city,
Interesting. Okay.
to combine that sort of thing. And for government, maybe they just get like an extra, maybe the government buildings and the government district is cheaper, but also maybe you'll get an extra governor title, or maybe you'll get a trade route like you mentioned for every building that you build.
What? Might get like an extra wild card spot.
I could see an extra wild card. I've always thought it'd be neat if either, maybe not get rid of anarchy, which is switching back to a government, but either reducing or making it that like once a turn, no matter what, they can change their civics. They're just that good at maneuvering.
That would be like
min-max here. Here I come.
Oh my god.
Once it's just once a turn. Once you do it, it's locked. Once they do it, it's locked. Or I guess if you wanted to put a further limit on it, you could half it. Just by listening to us talk, though, wouldn't it be neat if they got something like a special aqueduct that got a +1 range, so it could be up to 2 away from a mountain or a river, so they would be able to.
But then you're taking up 2 tiles. Is it worth it?
You could maybe have that it doesn't take up 2, or that it's built there, but it can be built within 2 instead of saying that it must be built within 1.
Okay.
The other one that I thought, thinking of what you guys were saying, is what if they did like a science or a civic boost whenever you built a district? So whenever you added to your, so sort of like how, the Getterics, or what's his name, the Gaul, whenever they build a military unit, they get a little culture boost. Maybe something like that. You get a science boost or a civic boost or both whenever you build a district. That would be kind of government and infrastructure.
Now, the other thing you can think of is whether or not they're going to draw on. So there's actually 2 Babylonian empires, kind of. There's the Babylonian Empire of Hammurabi, which is the first one. It only lasted for about 200 years, and then it fell. And then another empire rose in its place, and then a new empire was centered in Babylon, and it's called the Neo-Babylonian Empire. That's the one from the Bible. When you hear about like the captivity in Babylon, the Israelites. So that's the Neo-Babylonian Empire is from that. And in that one, Babylon was famous for its like really large walls that protected the city.
Okay.
So that there's that. They can maybe that's another thing.
Unique ancient walls.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just grasping at straws here, from the history itself.
So
walls that are also aqueduct.
Infrastructure could mean city center buildings. So that walls.
City center bonus for city center. Yeah. Something around that. Yeah.
So something else that they're introducing in this new update is the new game mode called Heroes and Legends, and with that,
that's easy. That's an easy guess.
Hold on. And with that, I don't know if this is unique to the game mode or if it's not, but they're also adding 24 great people. They don't specify what group they belong to. So let's
Because of
assume.
this game.
I read that as, sorry, Moy, but just looking at the basic
ahead.
grammar, also includes the new Heroes and Legends game mode, comma, so that's something it includes, and then 2 unique improvements, comma, 6 new city states, comma, and the new. So I think that if it was the new Games of Hero game mode, it wouldn't be a comma,
True.
it'd be a colon.
True. Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and suggest that we're just gonna see those 2 new unique improvements. Those are improvements, though, so that is something that they'll either have that your builder can do, or maybe it's something that one of the engineers get, or maybe a special feature of traders, that they can make these things.
They're probably unique tile improvements, and they are called the 2 improvements are called Mavihara and Trading Domes.
Trading Dome.
Yeah, and
so I'm guessing one sounds like faith, and the other sounds like science. No, sounds like
yeah, I agree, because the 24 new great people comes at the very end, and I doubt like the new city states would only be for like the new game mode. That one, that they're gonna swap out Babylon, right? Babylon's not going to be a city state anymore. And so
there's a couple, because Babylon, I think was that not a Babylonian city? The city of
well, Babylon's its own city state.
I know. But it wasn't the Babylonian city. It was the Babylonian Empire. They had a couple of cities. Maybe I'm wrong. Happens twice a year. I hope the trading I hope the trading dome is something that extends the length of your trade routes, or expedites the time that they take to end. I really hope that it does something.
That'd be a good improvement. I do want to I really want to focus on these 24 new great people, because I think there's some really good discussion that can come about this. With 24 new great people, this can mean a couple of things. It's either going to be 1, a new great person for every era, for every type of great person, or 2, and the cooler one, is there can be an entire new group of great people. And so I want to raise the question of, if there was a new category of great people, what do you think that could be? I'll start, because I kind of put you guys on the spot here, and I don't know if you guys have any answers.
We're all gonna say the same thing. Like I say count 1, 2, 3, and more.
Fine,
and
you go.
No. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Ready?
Yeah.
1,
wait.
2.
So what are you guys doing?
Just say if there was a new category for great person, what do we think it would be? Okay, if there's a whole, there's engineer, there's prophet, there's merchant.
Like realistic
if
one,
there
or
was
the one
a whole
I want?
new category,
I have 2 answers here.
What do we think that it would be?
Okay, I'll do the realistic
count of 3.
answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Spies.
Entertainer.
Spies.
Entertainer.
I don't think it was as obvious as you made it out to be.
I want to say great prophet, because after you get your prophet, there's nothing else faithful.
How about government?
Yeah, someone's saying
in the chat,
statesman or stateswoman.
Yeah,
for government.
But
that's a
the
good
problem
one
is that I guess that would add on to like the leaders, right? So like if you are, say the United States and stuff, and the only leader you have is Teddy right now, right? Right. It would be kind of cool if you had other great people you can get that was like, FDR or something like that.
But you have to consider, like, if they're great people, you have to get from all over the world, right? From every different era, starting from the classical era, because that's when you can start getting great people, or maybe the ancient era. I'm not sure. So like how far back can you go for like these Congress people, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
Now the other thing too is they may just be adding new great people to the existing pool.
Right, but that's not that's the boring answer. Forget that one. That's just assume.
Well, you can be like exciting when you make anything up, but you can also be right.
True.
Right's also exciting sometimes, right?
You can also be right. You can also be right. I think if they're gonna do something, new and different, I'd say 2 ways you can do something really new and different. One would be they could attach them to wonders, so they could have that maybe when you build a specific wonder, you get a unique one of 24 unique great people. And they just attach 24 great people to 24 wonders.
Huh.
So that's like a reverse of how the game kind of used to work. So that'd be one guess if it was like unique crazy. The other one that'd be kind of unique crazy, I think, be fun. I believe there are 8 types of governors, right? So what if they had for each tier of governor, because I think there's like 3 tiers of governor, right? 3 more or less 3 broad stroke levels. Yeah. That each time you unlock one, it'll open up some possible ones that you can earn. Like everyone can earn them technically, but it opens it up. So 8 times 3 is 24, right? So that might be something that they attach. Every governor gets 3 great people attached to it that you can earn. But you have to level the governors up just in order to access them.
Let me just ask this: Are we going down this kind of rabbit hole just because the new game mode is called Heroes and Legends?
No, that's a completely different thing.
No, totally different.
Like,
we haven't even.
Why can't we just keep them at? Why can't we just go at the surface level and be like they're just adding things to the game that we already know about, which is they're adding more Greek people.
Yeah, they could. They might have just decided that, and that's really fun to Stagmus, and we could just say that, and it'd be way more entertaining and interesting.
What could be fun is we could ask which ones they will add. Right, like
I don't
maybe
know, like,
Stephen Hawking might be a great person.
That'd be a good one.
Stan Lee,
great writer, Stan Lee. That'd be a good one too. I want to get into though what we have these new groups of great people. All right, we have the prophet. We have I said the entertainer. You said the spy. The Nystagmus just refused to answer. Let's start with you, Nystagmus. Let's explain your answer. I don't know. Like, what do you? If you had to pick a new group of great people, who would you pick, and what would they do?
I really don't think that they need another group of great people to kind of add to the game, right?
Okay,
like
let's just pretend they are. They are. Let's say like yes, they confirmed that they're doing it. Who do you think it's going to be?
Well, entertainer, I would say that when you say that, like, who's an entertainer? Right? Are musicians entertainers? And so like you're gonna say actors? Like I don't know what you mean by that.
What I mean by great entertainer is since they changed the amenities and it's way harder to get amenities, I thought that these great people is a way for you to get more amenities for your empire and for you to achieve those kind of bonuses. That was the idea behind it when I said great entertainer. So who would it be? Great question. It could be actors. It could be like people like I can't say Shakespeare, because he's a great writer. Like Jim Carrey or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like or people who were jesters, like famous jesters. This is a flawed idea. Okay, give me a break.
Name a single famous jester.
Yeah.
The Joker. Thank you. The Joker.
The Joker. Great.
Okay, I don't think when
well
you say
done,
jester.
Moy.
When I say jester, I think you and I have very different definitions of what jester is.
Okay.
I hope it's not too late in the game because I want to actually experience them.
Yeah. I actually.
Also, don't they be real people? Like.
So I just sort of another kind of weird thought just came to me because I like looking at patterns. Okay. 24 great people. Well, guess what? I believe there are 24 pantheons. What if they do something like, I think there's 24 pantheons. What if they do something like after you've earned your great prophet, if you get a great prophet, there's also one great person and it's connected to your pantheon that you can earn after the fact. But it's a very specific, every pantheon has a great person aligned to it.
How many categories of great people are there right now?
I'll count for you. Just keep going with the conversation.
9.
I'll count for you.
8 or 9 if you count the prophet.
Prophet I am.
Or 10 if you count the Commandante General.
I was saying
no.
If they added a new great person, because 24 is a lot.
It's a lot.
In any given category.
It's 3 per category.
Yeah,
there's 8, right?
If they do that, if they do 3 per category, so they might add, I don't know, new era or just wild cards. I don't know. Maybe that's what they do, wild card.
Because one of the reasons why we might be doing it is that maybe because I've known a lot of times where we play games and we've noticed that we don't get enough great people. Right?
True.
So
it might just be that they've decided to put 3 more in each category. Well, yeah, except for profit, maybe. So fine. Yeah. I won't even talk about the idea of a spy.
I want to know about your deal with the spy, a great spy. 1, who would be a perfect example of a great spy, and 2, what would it do?
So a great example of a spy. I don't know. How about Laura Secord? Does that count as a spy?
I was thinking
the difference between a spy and a defector.
Snowden, was
Snowden, maybe,
yeah,
for
but,
a
like,
modern
that,
spy.
I don't know. Like, is that weird?
No, like that's not. He's not a spy though, right? So I think
No, that's true.
He's like
honestly,
a data
if you're a
analyst.
good spy, history should know who you were, right? Okay,
Also
if you're
true,
a
yeah.
great spy. I can't name any.
James
I don't
Bond, yeah,
know.
that's a good one.
Or
Yeah.
isn't Irving the guy that made James Bond? Wasn't he an actual spy in World War II?
I don't know, man.
Either
You're asking the
way,
wrong
so
guy here.
the spy, and it might be spy slash diplomat.
Okay.
Okay, maybe it's
Okay.
the intrigue one. I would see it as being able to complete one of several special missions, like over time, like it'd be time based, which ones they can do. And it might be things like outright steal a technology. It might be things like, city can't grow. Things that like normally the World Congress would do, like these spies can just force onto a civilization, force anarchy. Okay, forces them to revert. So it only work if they had like changed governments. It forces them to go back to it. That would be an empire crippling sort of thing. Maybe the spy is able to lower your ERA score. So maybe there's a mission. So like with spies, there would just be missions.
There was
right?
an example of this, actually. There was a conversation in Peppermint Butler's Discord a long time ago, and I wrote it down. Basically, they said, what if they introduced a great person called the Great Agitator? For your case, this would be the same thing, Great Spy. But instead of it doing a boost to your civilization, it hinders another civilization. So an example would be like -2 science in all universities for that civilization. Something like that. Would that kind of fit your bill?
Yeah, like
that ability
infrastructure
that has the greatest propensity for being broken.
But you get the idea, right? Like it could, it's but then now you maybe have to shift. But everyone has access to these too, right? And so like if you're going science victory and you get that, you're like, oh shoot, I have to either one, really double down on my science, or two, completely shift away from it because it's so crippling. And I think it'd be interesting. It'd be kind of interesting to have that dynamic to cripple other empires that way.
You would have to come up with a defense, though. Like they can't just have it so that the great person can walk into an empire that you can't stop it from doing it, and then you have to be able to kill it or something like that.
Okay. So what about your idea of like the great prophet or the great religious person, Sarge?
Because you can build a holy site, not get a religion, and then you've just got a holy site generating you some faith. With faith you can use, but like you're not generating great people points for anything like the other districts do. So I feel like they could maybe do something with the great prophet.
So
since that has no great people after you get the
Can
prophet.
I take that idea and run with it a little bit?
Yeah, go for it.
So let's call this new great let's call this new great person the great disciple or the great follower. Kind of, you know what I mean? So it's like not a prophet, but like a member that was heavily within a religion. So we can just say
zealot.
Yeah, it's a great zealot. That's a great example. And so some examples of what these people can do is that they can maybe just instant convert a city, right? So you can earn points towards this, and then he goes to a city. He cannot be, let's say he can't be killed, like he can't be condemned. He just goes to the city and converts it automatically. And then he has like 3 charges and just boom, boom, boom. That can be an example of it. Or it could be to
stop Zoe's connection from
dropping. Yeah, we got to pray to the gods for that one. I'm trying to think of another one other than the just converting city.
What about like, because Sarge mentioned that it would happen if you didn't make a great prophet and you have a site that doesn't give you great people. So how about something to the person who didn't get a religion? So how about a zealot that allows you to take advantage of every ability that someone converts your cities to?
That's India's ability, and that's like Congo's ability. So like that would kind of take that away. But I like where you're going with this, where maybe you get like a great zealot and you get to just choose which religion, and then you can just convert your own cities that way.
Yeah, and then you can take advantage. But I would still like it to at least give you some advantage from taking that, because other than that, right, like you would just be helping someone else's religious victory. It's got to have like a little bit more of a carrot, I think, because like, oh, you can do it, and then then the other person just converted a lot more cities because now their religion is everywhere, kind of thing.
They could do something, because okay, so looking at Great People right now, they're based on era, right? And they start in the classical era.
Yes.
And the last ones are in the information era. So I think what would be really fun is if they had some ancient era ones.
Okay.
So specifically ancient era. So, you know, they might have to bump the tree up a bit. I think base is 30. So maybe the first one's earned at like 10.
5.
And it's just like you get like, and there may be like most of them are very mild bonuses. And that is for wonder building. And maybe instead of earning them through districts, what if they are earned by just doing certain things? You know, like clearing a barbarian camp, or maybe you can get them in a goody hut or something like that. But they're all ancient. I don't know. So, like that could be an interesting mechanic. It'd be more likely based on a district though, but I think that'd be neat. Some ancient great people that you can earn.
The last one I can think of is like the Great Explorer. It's kind of just like it's a scout, and maybe it just reveals part of the map, maybe permanently. Like you can permanently see these. You can pick a spot in the map, and it's like you can permanently see these 5 tiles all the time. So, the example of that would be like Marco Polo, Great Explorer.
Right. Now, like an explorer though, that would be a category. So out of the 9, you'd have a 10th category.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's 24 within a.
There's
so
21,
it's more like
21.
21 within a single category.
Yeah.
Is there that many?
Yeah.
3
okay. Every era, starting from the classical era, leads to 21. So if this whatever, let's do this. The Great Explorer can start at the ancient era, and you can get one from getting a goody hut. So now there's 24 of them. Boom.
That
done.
Would, if there was earnable in the ancient era, that could be interesting. If they're almost like for scouting and map making, and like, so what, maybe like you can trade maps with somebody. It might be, you know, so relatively minor bonuses, or like they're able to show you resources earlier than you'd normally gain access to.
The scientists do that currently.
Yeah, that's interesting if what you're saying is true, like 21 per category, and then they just add 3 in the ancient era. Okay, that makes it a little bit more conceivable.
So we're running out of time, and I want to talk about this last thing, the new game mode, Heroes and Legends, and what that could possibly.
That's so easy.
Go.
We've already seen it.
What do you
We've
mean
already seen it in Pirates. In Pirates, they have these advanced units that show up on the board that are like advanced ships, you know, Captain Jones's ship or something like that, and they're these big units. So they'll just do that. Everybody gets a cool, special, unique unit, but you only get one of them. It's that simple. I
thought the exact same thing, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But it might still be not like everyone gets them. It might be like a neutral unit that you have to kill.
Oh, interesting. Like map objectives. So what would you get if
a
you
special barbarian? That would be so annoying.
What would you get?
Well,
if you
it's called like Heroes and Legends.
Yes.
So what if like in the ancient era, suddenly you came across like Hercules?
Oh.
Right, and I don't know what the mechanic would be if you would get something for, say, killing Hercules or defeating him.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it's a game mode. Yeah, you're right. It's a game mode.
That's a good concept.
It's a game mode, right?
Yeah.
So I think it would be like Hercules. It could be like you can come across like a great general of some kind or a famous one that does that. Or it can just be.
But it's saying it's a mode, right? It's not saying it's a special map or anything. Like Pirates was a special.
No, it's a game mode.
You would play this with, so every Civ would end up having the equivalent of a Hercules.
Or you can you find them on the map.
You have to fight Hercules.
No, like in Pirates, where you're just going around the map and you find them.
I see.
Right?
So didn't we talk about this once? Like, imagine if there was Hydras instead of barbarians.
Dinosaurs.
Like, what if it was monsters? Yeah. What if it was monsters? Yeah. Yeah. Heroes and Legends. Your hero could be like Hercules, and then your legend could be a Hydra, a multi-headed Hydra.
Before I get into detail of what I think, Sarge, what are your thoughts?
A bit like Bose, I don't get too into the new game modes. Obviously,
But you play Secret Societies, don't you?
So I was gonna say, Secret Societies is even when it first came out, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna play this. I played it and I loved it, so I usually always play with it on now. So this sounds like one I'm probably not gonna play it once and then that'll be it.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
Possibly. Well, it depends. I'll give it a try, and who knows? But it does sound like maybe Zozo's onto something with like having like a good unit and a bad unit sort of thing, like one that you got to try and kill and one maybe you recruit or something like that.
Right. So I'm gonna kind of combine some ideas here. I did think it was gonna be like everybody gets like a unique unit, and it's think of it as a vampire where it won't die, but it gets sent back to base if you kill it.
Yeah.
But I think that there's gonna be a specific amount of heroes and legends that you can recruit. So think of this as governors and how you recruit a secret society. So you can put a point into it. The only difference between this is that there can be you can be part of a society, but someone else can be a part of that same society. So we can both be vampires, so we can both be void singers. This one, there's a pool of heroes and legends to choose from that you can recruit to your civilization, and each one of them brings a skill set, whether that's going to be fully on combat, when you can recruit like I don't know, any really famous warriors, but like a really famous warrior, you recruit him and he's better at fighting.
Achilles.
Maybe Achilles, Hercules again, yeah, like he's good at fighting, but maybe that's also like a really famous smart person that's not in the Great Scientist, where like he can boost your science, right? This hero boosts your science permanently, but he can also be used in war. He's just not as good as someone like Hercules would be, and I think that would be. I want to go for that one as my guess, and I think Sarge, that would go up your alley, and I think you would like it.
Yeah. Well, now that you say that, they could kind of act like great generals. They help with combat, but maybe I don't know. You hover one around a certain radius of say campuses, and they enhance all the campuses around that radius. But you can move them around at any point. So maybe later on in the game you have another hub of campuses that are going to help you even further. So you just go and move that unit, settle them down.
Now the other question would be is how do you get them? Now would you get them from like kind of like secret societies? So you get one of them by clearing out a barbarian encampment, and then you get another one by say discovering a city state, because maybe the great person lives in the city state, and that's where you get them from.
Yeah, I was just thinking that envoys,
and they can have different they can have different characteristics based on the type of city state that you find.
Oh, that's so sick.
And so like a science city state, trade city state, science city state.
That'd be neat if it was linked to city states.
Yeah. And so I'm thinking maybe if it's around what Moy is saying, that's maybe how you get them, just like how secret societies kind of occur that way. So it's a little bit more random, as opposed to, because like whenever you're say a faith-based civilization, you're trying to get void singers, right? But sometimes you can't get it, and you have to just kind of, and maybe it's something like secret societies, you don't have to choose right away. Like it's someone that's available to you that you can pick, but you can only pick one of them. And you're looking for that particular one that you want to get, but it's all kind of random.
Yeah,
or or another trigger could be maybe like when you expend a great person, the great person turns into a legendary unit.
Oh, like a retire ability, I guess.
When you retire them, you get a unit. Now, what I'd like to see, this would require lots of details because of how many, there's 50 civs in Civilization, is that they have a game mode where every civilization gets one or more special legendary unit, where it's like the robot, you can only have so many of them. So this one might be you only get one. So it could be, the Canadians would be so stupid, be some
Canada Goose,
Louis Riel or something. I don't know.
Well, technically you can get a lot of the death robots. It's just that they're super expensive.
6 maintenance, 6 uranium.
But, or that if it was, depending on the civ that's playing, sort of like how the music is dependent on the civ that's being played that circles around, depending on the civ you're playing, that's what spawns the legends, and the legends are like legendary monsters. So the Wendigo, or Loch Ness monster from Scotland, or something like that. And it's totally dependent on the civs that are in action, but they assign each of them a hero and a legend, and the legend can be something totally out of fantasy, And I think it'd be hilarious if they were not on your side. If it was just like, it's like everyone's like, Scotland's in the game. That Loch Ness monster is ridiculous, and it's just something we all
Braveheart
have
is
to
so
deal with.
strong. I can't kill him.
Yeah, and then if they gave every civ a hero
Shoots
and a
fireballs
legend,
out
I
of his
think that'd be
eyes and lightning bolts out of his eyes.
I'm excited for this game mode now. You guys have sold
Yeah,
me.
see?
This is what we're here
It's
for,
winning.
man.
And because you got to remember that the game mode's kind of mixed, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta make them interchangeable. So I think something
think
that modifies the barbarians and like the random encounters would be
cool.
great.
Yeah.
Because they did add in things like vampires, I do think like the option
sky's the
of
limit.
why,
Yeah.
just because we already have kind of magical characters in the game,
Yeah.
and so
It's like-
it could be almost anything when we're talking about this legends or heroes and stuff like that, right? We're thinking about probably like Hercules is like half man, half god kind of thing. They're gonna have stuff like that probably for sure. That they do. So
I think what the Civilization, the developers at Civ, Carl, this is what I think you guys are doing. You're going into SimCity 2000 and you're saying, what are all the modes that we can click on? Okay, well, we got the natural disasters. Okay, check. Okay, let's do monster attack. And that's what the next one will be SimCity 2000 equivalent of monster attack. And like, there'll be imagine a natural disaster that doesn't go away until you kill it. Like,
Jesus.
that would be crazy. Like, and think about it, it might unify everybody. So maybe that's what it does. There's my guess. It spawns
like Godzilla just shows up. Like,
yeah, it depends on the era, and maybe it depends on the Civ, but it spawns these crazy barbarian units that are effectively natural disasters that you have to kill. But your reward for killing it is that you get a hero. Boom.
Oh, crap!
Game
it's
mode.
Mothra.
Where's my mic? Drop.
It'd be cool if all the heroes were like all the Greek gods and like the Norse gods and like had all their myths and all their powers. That'd be cool.
Lame.
What?
Because if it was just the Greek, if I'm playing the Canadians or the
I included
Indians,
Norse.
Oh, okay. Well, I'd say as long as you're saying that Civ specific.
Yeah.
That it
If you're saying
covers the
Canada, it's gonna be
spectrum.
like there's a great Canadian moose, and that's the
God.
monster.
Oh god.
And
Bullwinkle.
he has a squirrel friend. Oh no, it's a beaver. Beaver friend.
Beaver.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the loon is like
No,
the scout
no,
just
you put it
flying
up
overhead.
The most powerful unit would be the Canada Goose, though.
Oh, dude, that would it would wreck everybody. Are you kidding me? That thing's vicious.
Yeah.
I hate that bird. Everybody loves
That's
that.
one
I hate
stereotype.
that.
Everyone's like, "Hey man, Canadians really love their Canadian geese." I'm like, I haven't met a single Canadian who says I like that bird.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
hates that bird.
The worst thing ever.
Flying Dutchman.
Ugh.
It would be a boat that can go on land, this galley that just be terrible.
All right, let's wrap up here. Sarge, 100 games, 100 days. Thanks for being on here, dude. Really, really appreciate it. I want to give you the opportunity to shout out anybody or anything. Shout out your social media, or the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for having me. First and foremost, you can catch me 100 games, 100 days on Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, even. I have a Discord as well. That's on my Twitch channel. Civ gives soon. That's like 6 weeks away.
What's
What's the
that?
Civ
What
give?
is the
What
Civ
is
give?
that?
Civ
Yeah,
give?
what?
So, you three beautiful gentlemen, myself, who else is there?
You can do this.
On Spot TV,
Yeah.
or aka Michael.
Yeah.
Foibles, Bostius, Peppermint Butler, Van Bradley. I think that's all of them.
Nice job, buddy.
Did I get them all?
Yeah.
Got them all. We're going to be playing a multiplayer game of Civ 6 on December 20 at 4 p.m. EST time, I think it
You're
is.
nailing it, dude. You're
Nailing it?
killing it right now.
To raise some money for the kids, our goal is $5,000 in total between all of our streams. So hopefully it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully it's a good long game. Hopefully no one gets destroyed early. I'm looking at you, Michael.
No Eleanors.
No Eleanor.
Yes, there's no Eleanors.
I think we're each getting to ban at least one Civ, so
Maybe.
Right.
probably
okay.
won't see Eleanor.
That's a good idea, actually.
That is a good
We got
idea.
it all banned too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we appreciate
Um,
having you on, dude. Thank you very much.
No, thanks you.
Well, we're gonna have you again.
Yeah.
You
You
were
guys are gonna be sick of me.
awesome that we want to have you again for our first, like, in months. I don't even remember last time we did a 2-parter. So worthy.
It's gonna be a
You
fun
are
end to the
worthy.
game. Thank you.
So whenever we have a guest, we like to have them suggest a raid. So please go and look in your Twitch as we do our outro a little here. Cue outro. If you haven't followed us on Twitter already, you definitely should, because we post some really good memes on there, and it's where you get all your updates on the Civ Show and just in civilization in general. So please be sure to give us a follow on Twitter at TheCivShow.
Or if you want to go beyond the character limit on Twitter, you can get to know us in person on our Discord chat. Great, awesome community filled with, like, just a group of awesome, fun guys and girls and everything. So join us on our Discord and join the conversation. And we hope to see you soon.
Right. And if you want to check out any of our other content, we do have a YouTube channel. I personally do a series called Better Know a Leader, where I do kind of a little background on all the leaders in Civ. Last one was Basil II of the Byzantine Empire. Zoe does his Razian reviews. Moy kind of makes videos as well that are kind of more miscellaneous, talks about a lot of different topics. And we have a new series coming out pretty soon called Civ Different Perspectives, where each of us take the same game, same exact placement in the map, and we play out the same game and see how we each make different decisions throughout the game. So definitely check that out when that becomes available. And so yeah, definitely check us out on that YouTube channel. Subscribe.
It's how we stole Vector Cat's stuff.
Don't say that out loud. What are you doing?
Oh, sorry.
Wow.
Forget I said that, Vector Cat. We didn't
No.
steal nothing.
We stole nothing.
Totally original.
All right, who we raiding here, Sarge? Who do you got?
Man, foibles.
You got Foibles, your man Foibles? All right, let's go say hello to Foibles. Until Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be gone. But you should join us definitely on Sunday for the Civ Show, because we're going to have Sarge back again, your favorite Australian. He's going to be there. And you should be there too. We'll see you guys
Gonna
Sunday.
be sick of me.
Never.
Go out there, you better be dead.
See you later, guys. Have a good night.
Good night.
Have a good one.
So yeah.
Right now.
Raid initiate.